All right, so we'll go ahead and get kicked off. Sally, ready to jump in?
2 seconds, just getting the deck.
Sure.
It's just moved. There we go. Yeah.
Excellent. All right, wonderful. All right, thanks everyone for joining us today. This is Joyism, how play is shaping the future of experiences with Sally Nowroozi. My name is Matt Kelly. I'm an enterprise account executive here at Consensus, and I'll be your moderator for today's session. A couple of housekeeping items here. DEMOFEST is presented by Consensus. Consensus is intelligent demo automation software that helps scale pre-sales with interactive video demos. You can learn more at goconsensus.com or view the automated micro demo at the link in the Docs tab on the right of your screen. Consensus is proud to provide this event free to all attendees. However, we would like to invite each of you to donate to our company's humanitarian organizations if you'd like. You can learn more about this and donate by visiting the DEMOFEST Gives Back booth in our virtual expo hall in the Booths tab or at the link in the Docs tab on the right of your screen. We also invite you to join us in our DEMOFEST community on Discord. The community is where you can connect with speakers, get exclusive access to content and events, and where the conversation will continue long after the DEMOFEST event has ended. We encourage all attendees to join us and so many others. You can join the community at the link in the Docs tab. So we encourage you to participate in today's session, of course. On the right side of your console, you can see a few ways to engage with us throughout the session. First is the chat function. This will allow you to engage with us as well as other attendees. Throughout the session, you're also you may see a couple of polls. We encourage you to participate in those as well, as your feedback is important to us. Our speaker will be taking questions from the audience at the end of the session as well. But we encourage you to ask questions at any time through this Q&A box here. If at any time you're having technical difficulties, you can head to the gear at the bottom of your screen. And here you'll find a document to help you troubleshoot some common issues that you might have. And now I'd like to introduce our speaker. Sally Nowroozi is the principal CX evangelist at Salesforce. She focuses on futurology and strategic foresight to influence and inspire applications of technology to help organizations drive value from technology. With over 15 years of experience in marketing, CX, and tech, she advises CXOs on driving customer centricity and has spoken at global conferences. Sally has consulted with enterprise companies like British Airways, John Lewis Partnership, Bacardi, and more on the future of customer experience. She was awarded as the Inspiring Ambassador at the MENA Women in Awards 2022 and is an ambassador for Women in Tech. Sally also runs a food blog and hosts Persian supper nights to connect people with Middle Eastern culture. And with that, I'll turn the rest of the time over to you, Sally.
Thanks so much, Matt. I wasn't sure the food blog was going to make it into the intro, but there we go. Huge thank you for the welcome. Thank you, DEMOFEST. Hello, DEMOFEST. I'm super excited to be here with you all today. I'm dialed in from London. It's a little late in the evening here. I hope you're all having a great day. Please do drop me a little note in the chat. Let me know where you're dialed in from today. This is my first DEMOFEST, so I'm even more excited to be here with you all to talk about this concept of Joyism. Now, I just want to say thank you for joining to be a part of today's session, and good on you for taking the time to learn. You know, with the rise in technological advancements and innovations, we should never stop learning. And I've actually enjoyed being a part of some of the sessions today and learning all around the pre-sales world in terms of how we can be better and lifelong learners as well. Now, the future of customer experience is often talked about in terms of technological advancements and innovations. However, a growing trend in customer experience and the industry is an emphasis on Joyism, which ultimately prioritizes the emotional well-being and happiness of customers. Because fundamentally, we all want to feel joy. We want to feel joy because joy is a driving force in human nature. It exerts a powerful pull on us. It draws us towards our highest purpose and potential. And when we come together collectively, we have the opportunity to feel something magical and meaningful. We all want to feel joy because joy fosters connection beyond ourselves, whether it be with something supernatural or just with other beings. Joy helps us with our imagination. We come up with phenomenal ideas when we are operating at our highest selves. And joy can help us reach those euphoric moments in turn, which make memories. Now, finding joy and spreading joy is one of the most fulfilling things that we can be doing as humans, whether it's through a kind word, a thoughtful gesture, sharing a smile. Spreading joy can brighten someone's day and make a real positive impact in people's lives. So when we spread joy, not only do we bring happiness to others, but we also experience a sense of joy for ourselves. So it's a really beautiful cycle that reinforces the importance of kindness and compassion in our daily lives. So knowing that joy brings us so much purpose in our individual lives. Imagine if we were able to scale the happiness that we get from humans to businesses, and how we can use business as the greatest platform for change. Now, as you probably know, there has been so much research in the quest for happiness. There's been so much research carried about what truly brings people joy and what doesn't bring people joy. And over the years, you can imagine that there's been a real pivot in the way that people are searching to find joy in new ways. There's an incredible statistic amongst many research that's been carried out. 88% of people are looking for new experiences to make them smile, to make them laugh, to bring them joy. But also, let's just hone in on people are looking for new experiences. Now, technology is really creating such an opportunity for us to create experiences, whether it be your consumers, experiences for your end consumers, it be experiences for your buyers, it be experiences for your employees. Ultimately, that's the utopia that we should all be fulfilling. And ultimately, the future and higher evolution comes to those who live in joy, share joy, and spread joy. And if any of you have heard of this incredible philosophist, Tom Saradarian, he is very inspiring. He has published over a dozen books around Joyism. So connecting Joyism with the world of experiences is where we truly are going to see that generational change towards customer experience. Now, according to Google, we've seen 10 years of change in the space of 6 months. And no, that's not a photo of me from 10 years ago. We've experienced so much change in our personal lives. We've also experienced so much change in businesses. And for those of you on the line, we've experienced a lot of change in the tech industry of late as well. The pandemic accelerated so many things in terms of digitalization, but it's also formed new consumer trends that trend watchers have brought to bear. So when we think about trends watching, there are an abundance of new consumer trends that have been formed as a result of where we've come to so fast as well. There are so many opportunities now for companies to be innovative, to create meaningful collections, and to really reimagine the way that they engage with their consumers. Now, there's loads of trends here that we could literally spend the whole DEMOFEST on, but I just want to hone in on a couple here that I'm going to expand on. When we look at the age of healing, this is ultimately consumers looking for new routes for enlightenment. When we think about freedomism, that's ultimately creating fun in what you do. Brand beings is around how you do good by doing good, how you use your business as a platform for change, how you show up with your values and actually share your values out with not only your employees, but your consumers and the wider good as well. And joining in the concept of joy, finding meaningful connections in something that can be a lonely world. And this is stemmed from COVID as well. It stemmed from the pandemic where people had to be really resilient all the time. And we're pivoting from being so alone that we're social beings. We just want to be around social environments as well. Now, when we think about trends, we think about future-proofing businesses, what we need to remember when we're thinking about consumer trends is the reality is it's a choice-driven marketplace. We can pretty much buy anything from anywhere, whether it's a pair of trainers that you're trying to buy, or on a B2B level, it's purchasing a new contract or taking out a new contract. There are an abundance of companies out there. So what's really important is how you use your customer experience to really be that competitive differentiator that's ultimately going to make you profitable. And we've done a ton of research at Salesforce around the state of the connected consumer, the state of customer experience. 88% of customers say that the customer experience a brand provides is just as important as its products and services. So just think about that for a moment.
And Sally, I'm sorry, I just wanted to make sure. Do you have a deck that you're going to share as well? We don't have that popped up right now, or is this just an?
Yeah, I've been sharing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, I'm sorry, that's not coming through. I thought there we
are.
are.
That's okay. Right. I'm sharing that. Can you see now?
Perfect. There we are. Yep.
Thank you, Matt. Thanks for letting me know. Great. Cool. You can see now. Okay. I'm just going to flicker through so you can just see the trends that we've been talking about and the concept of Joyism. So what I was just alluding there from a trend watching perspective is, where I was mentioning there's loads of trends that have come to bear from consumer needs, but it's really about how we try and take these trends and consumer trends and really think about them in the age of technology. So you're probably wondering why I'm laughing, because I'm looking at these Marketeer sketches. So around it's a choice-driven world, and the reality is many companies have the appetite to innovate, but many people will actually wait until there be a case study out there. But I really believe if you wait for a case study to be born, then you're too late. It's really important to, if you have the need to innovate and do something, it's just to go for it. And don't seek for perfection, but to seek for progress. So really, it's not about being able or willing to adapt. It's about being excited to adapt and really think about change as an opportunity, especially in the land of technology that we're living in. So when we think about Joyism, and we think about play, and we think about experiences, we should think about what the word play means to us. And I'd love you to use the chat to tell me what play means to you. Now, this can be in any capacity that you may feel. So feel free to put your answers there within the chat. Does play mean that it's doing something that provides escapism? Is play something that creates a feeling of dopamine with you as well? Is play something that involves you to be active, that totally captures your attention, that really gives you that enjoyment as well? So when we think about taking customer experience to that next level, what we should really think about is joy being that power that we almost need now. And what's really important that we see in a lot of our research at Salesforce is the company ethics sometimes matter a lot more than the products and services that you have. They matter a whole lot more than they did a year ago or even 2 years ago. So how you show up as a company in terms of how you lead with data, how you deal with ethics, how you deal with integrity is really important in terms of how you really kind of show up. There's been loads of study that's been carried out. So for example, study with Unilever, it revealed that a third of consumers are now choosing to buy from brands they believe are doing social environmental good. So think about that choice-driven marketplace mindset for a moment. If you're in a driving seat as a consumer to buy something from a company, you're going to choose to engage with a company that's doing something that's of benefit to society and for the environment. If we look at Gen Zs, 89% of those say that they would rather buy from a company supporting environmental issues. So when we think about future of experiences, there's this mesh between authenticity in terms of your company values, how you show up, how you're fostering connections, whether it be in real life, over on the net or in the metaverse, and also a hybrid of emotional well-being, how you're providing an emotional uplift for your customers or your end user, how you're providing mental health support, how you're promoting self-care as well. This is where we're going to see the next chapter of how people are using technology for the wider good. Now, some of you may be familiar with the color, the brand Pantone. Now, Pantone revealed their color of the year back in 2022, and the color of the year was Very Peri. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with Pantone, they are the universal language of color. They have more, their Pantone books are used by over 10 million designers and producers that rely on this as their color guide to producing designs and manufacturing and everything related to color. Now, they heard the word resilience like we all did. So what they did is dedicate the color of the year to Very Peri, which symbolizes future and it symbolizes play. And these unique blends of blue, violets, and reds that you see, it's symbolizing that joyous attitude and dynamic presence that fosters creativity and imagination expression. Now, that was then. So what did they do this year? They actually dedicated one of their new colors called Color Apricot Crush, which is in collaboration with Coloroo. Now, again, symbolizing where we're going with consumer trends, this unveils, that refreshing, energetic hue, and it's really to symbolize that range of emotions and uneasiness that we might have towards the future as well. So it's really interesting that we're seeing companies really respond to the joy of customers and the emotional state of consumers as well. What's really important is how people are fostering connections, because in a time that we have been in and how we strive, as social creatures, community is really important. Now, over in London, I don't know if this has been rolled out across other states in the country, Lego did a collaboration with a Nigerian designer called Yinka Ilori, fantastic designer, and they created a pop-up, and it was called the Laundrette of Dreams. Now, the concept of a laundrette is all around community, especially here in the United Kingdom. It's this idea of communities from neighbors get together and, have those conversations that you do over a coffee or a cup of tea over in the UK. So in this store with Lego and the collaboration, you can't buy Lego. This is not a store to go to purchase and deliver to the bottom line of Lego. This is a space they've created in acknowledgement of where people are, in acknowledgement that to bring joy to people. If you could imagine, they could be following up with customers in terms of purchasing Legos or bundling things up as well. But I just love this concept, yes to dreaming, yes to rebuilding, yes to creating, knowing that this is a place where families come together as well. So this is a really cool way that we're seeing organizations really understand where consumers are and what they're trying to do to elevate their brand. So your brand is front of mind and you're really thinking about the future of your customer experience as well. Now, not just with Lego, we're seeing this across many different brands and companies as well. Now, if we think about retailers, you can purchase many things from different retailers. You can purchase retails from department stores. You can purchase directly through the mobile app. But it's just reimagining that next chapter of culture for your organizations. And what we're seeing a lot is brand experiences. Now, this example of Gucci Garden in Florence, it's effectively a brand experience center, like a museum. There's a cinema inside, there's a restaurant inside. The only thing you can purchase is a souvenir collection. You actually can't buy any of their items there. But again, these are the experiences that you can't have virtually. These are the experience that technology can drive you through invitations and so forth. But these are the spaces that we're really seeing brands and companies really invest in to elevate their customer experience. And we even seen this with Lululemon as well, in a choice-driven marketplace where you could probably grab a pair of leggings from any brand now. Why not do it from a brand who authorizes their voice in yoga, for example, and uses their stores, reimagines the role of their stores for events and inviting people in for things beyond what they actually sell, beyond their products and services. And I guarantee there's a lot of sales after the back of this actual event as well. So that's just some examples of how brands are really kind of creating communities and helping people find joy. But we can't ignore the next chapter of where consumers are spending time, or not even consumers, customers that are of prospects, or where people are trying to grab the attention of the younger audiences. Now, so some of you sports fans, you may have seen this with Adidas. They've launched Oswald. It's a brand new concept in terms of some of their collections. And the real science behind this is to recognize that as individuals, we have a great sense of individuality, especially with some of their target market. It's about how you express yourself. So what they do to invite you to, before you view the new collection, they get you to create your own avatar to reflect on your personality. And here's just a little recording of the personality that was created when I was having a little play with this here. So again, it's not about what you sell or it's about how you sell it. It's about the stories you create. It's about how you give people that sense of joy before they buy a pair of trainers, for example. So you can express yourself with originality through Oswald. And what happened off the back of this, you were targeted with lovely pairs of trainers related to the information that you just gave, and actually just create a whole new way of perceiving a brand and a company, and using technology in a really great way to really delight customers as well. And another example here about creating joy is when we think about crowdsourcing. Now, the voice of the consumer in terms of being customer-centric is really important. So leveraging your audience to make key business decisions whilst inviting them to play, in my eyes, is a very smart initiative. That's a win-win scenario. So this is an example from M&M's over in New York a little while ago. You know, M&M's is an 80-year-old brand, but it's one way that they keep very relevant with their consumers. So we know when it comes to M&M's, probably everybody's got a point of view of what flavors they should be introducing next. So through this pop-up, which seemed interactive, I mean, look at the lovely brown sofa underneath the coffee machine. That just looks so dreamy. People were invited, the younger audiences were invited in order to vote and have a point of view and share what they think the next flavor is. So again, it's a win-win scenario of how you can really capture customer voice, but also innovate your brand and make sure you're future-proofing your brand as well. And I'm sure creating a lot of social advocacy while you're there as well. And when we think about fostering connections, we have to think about how we form those communities around that as well. So whether you're a brand like Sephora selling makeup, again, it's a very busy, saturated market when it comes to makeup. But having a community can be your competitive differentiator in terms of how you allow your consumers to talk to one another as well. And finding those meaningful relationships and also social connections can really deepen the brand loyalty that you have towards a company by them fostering it as well. We've seen this with Peloton even, you know, you can buy a regular fitness bike, but the community that Peloton comes, again, just shows you how you're going to really elevate that customer experience and find joy in exercise. I know I've still got a little journey to go when it comes to finding joy when working out, but that's just another way that people are looking to elevate their customer experience. When we think about customer experience, we also see the word EX behind the CX. Now, when we mean EX, we're talking about employee experience, because fundamentally, if you want your customers to love your brand, you get your employees to love their jobs. And what we mean by that is your employees are in most cases, the first touch point to consumers. So giving them the right apps, technology to be able to greet customers, serve customers, have the right information on them, capture the right information on them as well is really important. And it can make such a difference in that customer experience process and having a 360-degree view of your customer and that feedback loop. So what I'm going to do is play a very cool example of how Hilton Hotels have launched an initiative to truly elevate the employee experience to deliver on the customer experience. I'm going to press play and hopefully the audio should be working.
You know what about times? Pictures, or it didn't happen.
But it has to be the right picture, or seriously, it'll be as if it never, ever, ever happened.
Thank you.
We usually take this photo like 50 times.
Can you try that again, please?
Yes, this has happened to you. It's happened to everyone.
One more.
Yep.
Oops, it seems blurry.
Is it good?
Finger on the cam. To flash or not to flash?
Mike is.
Dude, you cropped mine out.
Sorry, Mike.
This could go on forever.
Sorry.
Pictures shouldn't cause so much stress. Say hello to Waitographer, only at Hilton. Waiters and waitresses at Hilton are now certified mobile photographers after an extensive training with a famous international photographer. Hey, now that you're a waitographer, show them your skills.
It's perfect. I really think it's perfect.
It's perfect. Thank you. It's perfect.
Next time you are posing at Hilton, make sure your cam is in the right hands.
It's perfect.
All right. Drop me a note in the chat if you find yourself laughing to that. It's something that always brings a smile to my face. I think it's a fantastic initiative. They started this out. I don't know if anyone's actually had the pleasure of going over to Dubai, where they've actually piloted this. So Hilton have recognized that in order to capture its guests' special holiday moments, they're going to train their staff on smartphone photography. So it's a way of upskilling their staff in a way that's going to benefit their customers, give them the competitive differentiator, and really truly elevate their customer experience, especially when it comes to picking a hotel. Again, being a choice-driven marketplace where you have a plethora of hotels that you can be picking from. It's things like this that are going to really keep your brand front of mind, get your employees loving their jobs, but getting your customers to really, really benefit from that as well. So this workshop was ran. It was actually done with a renowned photographer, Roger Marcuzell. And they even received a bit of a certificate and a badge from an employee standpoint when they did this, which I think is absolutely fantastic. So as you think about customer experience, thinking about your employee experience is just as important, and it can really amplify what you're trying to do and accelerate where you're trying to go as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've shared quite a lot there in terms of, why we should focus on joy, how we find that joy, and why it's important. I've shared a lot of examples there from different brands and companies who are really investing in creating communities, connections, helping people experience new things that are going to spark memories and really take them to hopefully their highest purpose of themselves as well. So, from Pantone's unbounded optimism of giving colors a little bit of a purpose, Lego's examples of creating that laundrette of dreams, really seeing how Adidas are creating play with avatars. So there's a whole lot more of a story and emotional connection behind buying a pair of trainers or sneakers. To how M&M's did crowdsourcing as well to not only make sure their brand is even more current and front of mind, but ultimately evolving their business into something that is truly customer centric as well. And last but by no means least, looking at how employee experience is a really important factor to customer experience as well. So there we have it. Hopefully we've demonstrated that Joyism is really the next level to take your customer experience to the next level. And the challenge or the mindset I'd love you guys to take is how you're going to see the future experiences be formed with play as well. And remember, it's not about being willing, it's about being excited. It's about being excited to think about how we use technology to our greatest potential and really find the opportunities there as well. So that's it from me. Thank you so much for your time. Apologies that you didn't see the slides beforehand. That's an error on my behalf. But yeah, I'm happy to share the slides and take any questions. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sally. Appreciate that. Yes, and we want to remind everyone, drop any questions for Sally into the Q&A box on the right side of your screen there. We'll try to answer as many as we can. Actually, I'm just gonna go through a couple of quick housekeeping items here as well towards the end while you guys are thinking about some questions to ask. Just a sec. Here we are. So want to remind everyone about our DemoFest game. So each session you're attending and each session feedback survey that you fill out is going to get you points to win some of our awesome prizes. And we're very excited to be bringing DemoFest on the road again as DemoFest X. We had a great time here actually in San Francisco in March. Can't wait to bring the event to Dublin, to London, and then to New York City later this year. And you can actually register to join us at any of these at demofest.com. which is also at the link in the docs tab on the right side of your screen. We also encourage you to stop by our expo hall. You can visit some of our premier partners of DemoFest. Remember, there's no transfer of money involved in the event. So all of our partners here have gone above and beyond to contribute to making the event a success for everyone. And we do actually have a question. Also, Sally from Porsche, how do you think we can incorporate this into our demoing strategy?
Great question. Hey, Portia, great to hear from you, and thanks so much for your question. Yeah, so the team I actually work in Salesforce is called Key Branch. I believe one of our leaders actually presented as well. So demo engineering is a big part of what my wider team does. Effectively, this could be a really great way of really thinking about how you want to demonstrate, the theory of this within your actual demo strategy. So depending on what you want to showcase, you could really take hopefully some of the inspiration and apply it to see how you can really bring those ideas to life. So for example, if you want to create demo vignettes on how you can create a really great customer experience honed in on joy, I think that could be a great way of demonstrating, this theory or this philosophy of customer experience as well. A lot of the demos that we do at Salesforce, we really try and encompass it from an employee experience standpoint and a customer experience standpoint. So a lot of our demos show how the employee is having that view of a customer, how they're capturing data on the customer, and ultimately trying to deliver on that customer experience. So if we take the M&M's example that we showcased, or even let's take the Hilton example that we showcased, if we were to turn that into a demo of some sort, it would be that the waitographer would be notified on their console of who that table is, how many times they visited this hotel, if they're there for a special occasion, prompt them with next best actions of what to do to delight that customer experience. Is it offering to take a photo? Is it remembering it was their wedding anniversary or something? And another idea to build on that could have been capturing the customer's data and emailing or sending the photo to them. And maybe 1 year later, sending an anniversary email to say it was this time last year that you were with us. So I hope that answers your question in terms of, if I'm understanding your question right, it's how do you interpret some of the trends to how you bring that to life in the technology. But feel free to elaborate further if I haven't answered your question.
Awesome. I think that hit it spot on. Portia says, appreciate that, Sally. Thank you again, Sally, for the presentation, for answering some questions. I want to thank everyone here too for joining us for Joyism, how play is shaping the future of experiences. And again, the insight and knowledge from Sally is great. Just up next, we do have a little bit of time between now and then, but the next on our agenda is the closing keynote session, which you'll automatically be pushed to in about 25 minutes. So we will see you over there. See you soon.